cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Beauty and the breakdown. You gotta get on the right verse. Come on.
I fucked it
5, 6, 7, 8. Beauty and the breakdown.
I'm ruining everything.
You're never gonna be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader.
You're never going to be a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader like this.
Is this how we start? Is this the intro?
It's usually
This is
pretty
it.
chaotic.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
we don't have a song or anything, so we just like to just really just go in and
Sarah, take your
Go
coat
hard.
off. Put your
Just go
phone down.
hard.
Stay a while.
No, I like.
No.
I like this coat. One, it's warm, and I kind of it's like homeless chic, which is.
I've been watching this podcast, and I love how cash you are when you sit in this chair. You're all like,
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
She's
the most comfortable I've ever seen anybody.
She's
I'm like,
literally like
"Isn't your-"
pussy out, like fucking dogs out.
me
She's got
laugh.
her toes like crinkling in the fucking.
It's usually about 30 minutes in the shoes come off.
Yeah. I also love that jacket definitely has never been dry cleaned. Like you have some like leftover
Dry cleaned?
leftover dinner.
I've never dry cleaned
if
anything in
you
my
would have
entire
put
life.
that in the washer, it's going to mat down the fur.
Yeah, I've just
You don't
I
wash coats, dude.
Yeah,
Who washes a coat?
I don't wash
You
coats
wear a coat, do you throw it away?
Or give,
till
it
the
to,
armpits come out.
or give it to Goodwill and then
you
someone
put your
rebuys it.
shoes in the fucking washer too, you hillbilly? Jesus Christ.
Oh, I have put a pair of shoes in
Yeah,
the
I
washer.
do. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Your mic is doing despicable
Oh
things.
shit. Sorry.
Anywho.
Welcome to Beauty and Breakdown Podcast. I'm Sarah, your host. We are here with Heidi Fell, as always, with
Hi.
a very lovely cough. And also special guest in-house, Chris Bowers.
Hello. How are you guys?
Good. Bowers is in town because we have a comedy show
Heidi's first show
tomorrow.
I'm so
tomorrow
scared.
night.
I'm
You're
gonna-
not scared.
I
You're
better
fine.
I'm gonna suck the toe or blow the socks off these people.
Suck the toes off? Is that what you just said? I better suck the
I'm gonna
toes off.
suck them dry.
I love when people get alliterations. Wait, not alliterations. What are those called?
Sayings?
Yeah, like sayings. And Risa,
She's the best.
She
love
wanted to
when
say
she
I'm
says them.
between a rock and a hard place, but she said I'm between a stone and a really hard wall.
She tried really hard though. That was good. I mean, that was
That's where
decent.
she was, though. You know that.
And that's where she was at.
No, I mean I'm excited for this show because it's us
I think it's gonna
and
be
then
unhinged
it's
between all of
Logan
us.
and sorry, I'm on the cord. The last time we met Logan, or the first time we met Logan was really fun because
First time we met Logan was a little bit of a head button situation.
Well, you made him cry.
Okay, well, first off, he came at me pretty wild. You fuck. I'm sorry. I am a very calm person. I would say.
You were wearing
Wait,
snake
hold
skin.
on.
You were wearing snake skin. You were super fancy. You're being all
Okay,
rich, and you're
but-
making fun of his hillbilly ways because he didn't know you were also a hillbilly. That was what it was.
Orso.
I didn't. I actually no. I didn't even like. I feel like none of that even happened until after like Sarah and I were in there like just like going back and forth. But like we were both saying the same things, and he was only mad at me. I didn't ever come at him before that
Because you had on such a pretty outfit and you were making fun of hillbillies, and
Yeah.
god damn
he
it.
knows Sarah's a hillbilly. Look at her coat.
and little did he know
You look like a highfalutin caramel bitch
was
who just was
literally-
like posing as a hillbilly.
I was literally wearing a Shein bathing suit and a $5 clearance cover up from Plato's Closet.
yeah,
Like
but you were rocking it, dude. You look like
I still don't
I
understand.
think you
what
and I have talked
happened.
about this. Like the clothing you wear, it's not about how much it is; it's how well you dress. A lady the other day stopped me in a coffee shop and she was like, "Love your pants," and I was like, "Walmart."
Walmart.
Actually, they're from Walmart originally, but I got them at Goodwill.
Yeah, you're like someone bought them for more than I did. But yeah, no, I mean like I just feel like the circumstance was obviously not wasn't in the.
You know what? But now
It's fine.
Now
Yeah, we're
we all
past
love
it.
each other.
Yeah, we're past it. We're
And
past it.
Well, he had to get through some things. Logan was going through some shit on his own end at that point. I mean, he's better now.
I mean, like
so.
he and I talked like the next morning, like on the balcony, and like he apologized for it and everything. I also think there were other things that were factored into that, of course, like high emotion. But I mean, like I think he and I, like we were fine after that. It was just like
My
getting through
favorite
that
part
night.
about this was that you've said that you're not emotional or you said you're pretty low key. What did you say? I'm
No, I
pretty
didn't
calm.
say I wasn't emotional.
Oh.
I was just saying like
You said I'm a pretty calm person.
no. I said like I'm not like it,
Are you getting emotional
no,
and
I
worked
was
up right
saying
now?
It
Are
takes
you
a
gonna
lot
cry
to
right now? Are you gonna cry right now on the podcast?
I fucking knock myself out.
I'm really calm. Damn it! Shut the fuck up.
I flip the fucking table and walk out.
Now let
No.
me be calm for a second, Sarah.
I was saying that like it takes a lot to get me mad like that, and I feel like he like really just pressed a button that like I don't like to go to. Like that's a space I just don't like to like.
You guys tried to out hillbilly each other.
I guess when all in reality we could have just sat there and just been like, hey, we're both kind of fucked up, and that would have solved everything.
You guys could have cried together.
Oh no.
Yeah, instead of separately.
Yeah,
Because you both cried for about an hour each.
Yeah,
but it was
just in
room.
different rooms.
Yeah. That was crazy.
It was like about the same thing too.
About our shitty dads.
Yeah,
it
you
was
both cried about your dads in different rooms when you really could have just cried together about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was, and then for him to be like, I mean, I didn't know that could happen to you.
You were just saying
It's like,
no one hates each other more than two people that are very similar.
Yeah.
Like,
That's it.
That's what happened. You
I
guys
feel
are
like at
just
that
too
point,
much
it's like,
alike.
yeah, it feels like a competition. Maybe we're both cancers. Yeah.
No, he's a Pisces.
Oh wait,
I'm a Cancer.
what is this man?
Heidi, you gotta stop.
I'm sorry. Did you not just see
He's
that?
dancing. That's all right.
No. I mean, I thought Logan was a Cancer.
No,
he's
I'm
a
a Cancer.
Pisces.
Oh.
Ashley's Cancer, Bauer's Cancer, Pisces, you're Cancer. They're all water signs. That's probably why we all cried. Well, I didn't cry.
We're all
but-
flowing.
I didn't cry.
Emotions flowing.
You don't cry?
I cried at the end of Armageddon. And then when I got divorced, I thought of the end of Armageddon so I could cry because she was mad at me that I wasn't crying. My first wife was like, "Are you a monster? How can you not cry?" And I was like, "Well, you don't want to have her send back
I feel
to
like that's
the
a
home
pretty
office."
that's a pretty dramatic thing. Are you a monster? Like, oh my god.
Getting divorced. She wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, she was like really trying to like evoke.
And I was like
that
smiling. It was the
feeling.
best day of my life. I don't have to see her ever again after right now. Like you ever that conversation where you know it's going to end the relationship
God,
and
yeah.
you're excited for it, you know?
Yeah, you're like, oh, thank God.
But I didn't want to like be a total. I didn't want to be a monster. I wanted her to think that I was an asshole. So I thought of the end of Armageddon and made myself cry so she wouldn't think I was a dick.
I can. That's one of my biggest skills is that I can make myself cry. Like if I like think hard enough, I can just make myself cry. I did that one time when a guy was breaking up with me and he just goes, "Cut the theatrics," and I was like, "Whatever, okay."
And they drug you out by
You're
your
like, you were like, thank fucking God. You're like, I didn't want to be doing that anyway. So I'm glad you saved both of us.
I was like, fine. I just flung the tear off.
You're like, just drag me out by my feet, and he literally did
just
it.
yell at me. Let's fight.
Fucked up. Anyway, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I was in New York all weekend. I got to do a show out there. It was Ronnie's barbershop show.
Were they cutting hair in the
No, but that would have been really. I should have been like, if anybody needs a haircut too while we're here.
Pipeline Max?
I don't have any merch to sell, but I
cut
am
your
giving out
hair.
free buzz cuts if anybody wants
I
one.
can't give you a fade, but you can all get a 3-guard all over.
I can do one Mike's haircut and
You have a catalog. It's all the same haircut.
Now, see, a comedy show at a barbershop would be called Shaving a Haircut in 2 Bits, is what I'd call it. But
that's
Really long. That's a mouthful.
I feel like there's definitely something there other than just Ronnie's barbershop show, but it's been around for like 20 years. So
you had the best fake credit I've ever heard.
yeah,
That made me laugh all week.
So everyone on the show had credits, and she like comes up to me and she's like, "What are your credits?" And I was like, "Fuck, I don't have any credits." So I was just like, just say that I was on MTV Cribs in 2011.
Dude, that's so fucking crazy. Like,
She actually said it. She was like, "You may have seen her on MTV or VH1 Cribs."
Or VH1. VH1 Cribs is a whole different
yeah,
show. That is a whole
I
different
don't know.
show.
VH1 was like,
What it was.
yikes.
Old people cribs. That's
Yeah.
like, you know. They,
Oh, did they? Is that an actual thing?
No,
Oh,
VH1.
VH1 was the old people show.
Yeah,
The old
VH1 had
people
like
channel.
Rock of Love, Daisy of Love, and like,
I did Flava Flav. I did Flava. I loved Flava Flav.
I did Flava
I
Flav.
fucked Flava Flav.
I watch Rock of Love. I love that. I like that
Yeah.
show with
I
Bret
actually,
Michaels.
that's on.
It's
I think
still
it's on
on?
Hulu.
With
No,
Bret
no,
Michaels?
No. It's not like all the seasons are on Hulu, and I dead ass binge watched the fuck out of it. Like, how could this man not find a wife, and then for like more girls after season 1 be like, I'm gonna try this shit out.
Well, you know. It's
Wait, how many seasons did he
I think there was
have?
he
like
did
3
2
seasons.
for sure.
No, there was 3.
And then Flava Flav was the 3rd. He had 3 seasons. Then
He had
Flava
3
Flav.
seasons.
Okay. All right.
And he just
Yeah.
kept not finding them?
Well, like I think that like the relationships lasted like I think from the first one, like the girl was like quite a bit younger, and I think it just like didn't end up working out because they were just like in 2 different spots. And then the second one was
No, I think what happens is that it after 6 months they wouldn't take the headband off, and he will not do it. And eventually you're like, well, I can't be married to someone in a headband the whole time. He doesn't take it off the whole show. The whole show he has the headband on.
He showers with it and everything?
I mean, they don't show him in the shower. They only show the girls in the shower. But
yeah, it was
wasn't that kind of
interesting.
show.
Can you imagine being on that 3rd season?
right? Well, but I mean, how many of the people on The Bachelor are still married? None, right?
Yeah.
No, a lot of them actually.
No, there's like one total.
The Bachelor and The Bachelorette have been going on for years.
I agree. There's one couple that's still together, total of all fucking
No
28
way.
seasons of both. Look it up. I guarantee there's one that's made it.
I don't know. I don't watch The Bachelorette because I don't like that it doesn't just admit that it's a trashy show. Like,
Oh, it's awful, but it's like it's bad TV. but
like
people love it.
I love. Do you guys remember Tia Tequila?
yeah,
I do. Yeah.
I loved that show because it was basically The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. However, they admitted that it was a trashy show. And on The Bachelorette, they're like, I'm here for love.
Yeah, I mean,
5 couples.
oh, okay, out of 75. My
But
bad.
wait, is that including The Bachelor and The Batch? Yeah, and then also you are forgetting about Bachelor in Paradise too, because there's a lot that have been married from that show.
Okay, but that's a whole different show.
And then
It's
wasn't
still from the same thing.
was there a
Yeah,
guy?
but it's a different dynamic. I think
Franchise.
falling in love in a house is different, obviously, than just.
Yeah.
See, the problem I have with those shows is that, like, when you go on these dating shows and you're trying to win this girl over, it's some PA that's creating the date. Some producer is doing that, right? So, like,
Yeah.
So, what I would like, I'd like if I was going to do, I'd do a show called Mr. Romantic, where you give a guy $10,000 to plan a cool date and then see what he would actually figure out to do to see if you'd like him or not. Instead of some PA, oh, we're gonna take a helicopter ride to the
Right.
top of a mountain where there's gonna be a bath of. No dude would do. I mean,
Or just like realistic dating, like give them like $5,000, and it's like this is what we'd actually be
I feel
doing.
like that's also why a lot of these
you
relationships.
think $5,000
don't
is a
end
realistic date? That's where you're at in your life.
No. I'm saying like for like 3 weeks, like
Gotcha,
on an
gotcha,
island. Like
gotcha.
you get to go to an island, you get to do that, but like you have to go on realistic dates on an island.
But I also feel
There
like
you
that's
go.
why relationships after these like don't end up working out because they are so unrealistic that once they get into the real world,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
my
like, this is
point.
not like obtainable.
That's what I love about Love is Blind is that they right afterwards they all have to go see their family and where they live and
Yeah.
everything, and half the time it's an apartment with a roommate and they've got a dog, and then they get to choose after they meet
Right.
their shitty golden retriever if they still want to do it.
yeah.
See, my problem with
I
Love and Blind's the
appreciate.
one where you don't see them till the end.
Yeah.
Right. But they're all hot.
No.
Like it'd be cool if like there were a couple real uggos.
Yeah,
Where it's like,
yeah.
oh, they had a great personality, but literally like they don't have a nose or something weird. You're like, ah, fuck, that was blind. You know what I mean?
I feel like Love-
oh, they're all 9.5s or 10. So it's like you end up with one or the other. Who gives a
No,
shit?
I was gonna say I feel like there's been some pretty oogly ones. Like I would definitely not date. And like
Oh, that
like that yeah, like that guy was a fucking ass
his
wipe.
name?
Shane.
Shane, yes, he had the cocaine eyes. So
Yeah.
bad. But I also feel like they.
Is that Post Malone? In the pink?
No.
That's
Cole.
Brett. Oh wait, Barrett? I thought it
Cole.
was Barrett.
No, that's Cole.
I don't know.
Oh, that was Post Malone without tattoos. That's what he would look
Not
like.
today.
But half the time they still don't like find them attractive.
And like for whatever reason on some of these shows, like it's always the women that are way older than the men. And like realistically, I feel like most women want to date older. And I think that's just like maturity reasons, if you will, or like
Well, I have a joke about this. I mean, I've always said that the in a relationship, and the man should be the smart one and the woman should be the pretty one. And I don't mean that like sexist. What I'm saying is like women are smart as just as smart average as dudes, but women cannot handle stupid shit. It drives you insane. So why would you shackle yourself to an idiot? It's going to piss you off every fucking
Yeah.
day. Find a guy who's smarter than you, so he doesn't fuck up, or he fucks up on a level you don't comprehend.
I mean that's true.
And
yeah.
the cheat code to that is marry somebody older than you, because if they're 10 years older than you, they've already done all that dumb shit.
Yeah.
When you guys are equal, you fight because you're both the same amount of stupid.
But I think that's why like on these shows they don't work. Like they literally get all these men that are like 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 and these women are like 30, 31, 32. Like I wouldn't want to fucking go on a dating show and then figure out the guy's 25 when I'm 32.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that's
work.
not compatible. And that's like all these shows do that. The guys are always way younger for some reason.
Well, it's because only a stupid person would go on this show.
Yeah, that's true.
By the
You're
time they're
right.
26,
You're
they're
right.
not as dumb.
Yeah, and I
And the women aren't desperate enough until they're in their 30s.
exactly that's what I was.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're like the
The men aren't
formula
smart
does
enough.
make sense. The formula does make sense.
Yeah. I mean, now I'm starting to think like, maybe a dating show. I don't know.
I tell you what, one time at Morty's, I used to own a comedy club on the north side, and we had a male review in on like a Tuesday because we were like, just dying for money for anything. These male strippers came in, and the women that were there became my new favorite kind of. They were like all in their mid 40s, but they were still hot.
They were
Like-
strippers?
No.
Sorry. Oh,
The
okay.
men were strippers. These were the
Okay.
women that came to the male stripper show.
Okay.
Were these women in their 40s who were still like Northsiders, hot, attractive women, but you could tell they knew that was almost over. I've never seen a sort of desperate of like the last fish I catch is the one forever, you know?
Oh yeah.
And so
like
they were like a whole different level of like, I really need this.
all standards are like out the fucking window.
Yeah, because they know they've got
like,
2 years left before they're 60 or whatever the fuck they're going to be, you know?
Yeah.
Wait, so what were they doing to the male strippers?
No, not male strippers, just the dudes they were with. I just had never seen that. I just hadn't hung out with women my own age, I guess, ever before. And so, like, that was what was going on. And so...
you mean they were just, like, having conversation with you?
No, I'm saying... Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they were, like,
They were
engaged.
hot women that were like, oh, this is still a thing. Okay, this could be a thing where, like, when you're 25, you're like, no, this...
Yeah.
You know? And these women have been married twice to fucking
And,
rich
like,
guys.
by the time you get, like, 40, you know what questions to ask. Like,
Yeah,
you're
like, you know exactly what
And
you're
it's-
looking
yeah.
for, right?
They'd already been married to rich guys, too, so they weren't looking for money anymore. They were just
Right.
like, okay, whatever.
I guess I'm looking for love. Ugh.
Yeah. You know what I called them? Milks.
Oh God.
Because they're about to expire. Anyway,
Oh, my God.
Yikes. Okay. I need to grab a cough drop. I'm literally about to fucking die.
all right,
Hold
I'll
on.
get a cough drop done.
We'll get, okay. Just put it down on the thing.
Do we have to hold your shit?
She goes, hold my mic. Just drops it.
Mic drop.
So,
Get my pussy through the back. my fat
Her fat vagina got stuck on the couch. I don't know. If you were to go on a dating show, what dating show? Not that you would now, but
I would want to go on F-Boy Island, honestly. When I watched that with Ben, I really wanted to go on it because the idea of the fact that these women could not pretend to like a nice guy for $50,000 is fucking bananas. Like, oh, we're all fuckboys. Well, I guess I'm still going with the fuckboy. It's
That
like
is
it's a game
insane.
show.
That
A
is-
woman
yeah.
could not pretend to be into a dude she wasn't into for fucking $50,000 for a week.
Right.
Like, what are you doing?
like still to choose the fuck boy, even
Yeah.
when you know it's the fuck boy, and you're like, he'll change for me.
Yeah, it was just bananas.
Which I think on some level that's like women thinking that they can like change a guy, which some of them did. The
No,
best part
I
about this
don't-
season
I-
was
I-
though
I'll
that there
say
was
this.
a
fuck girl.
I don't think this. Here's my theory. My theory is there's 15% of men, maybe 20% of men, that women just want to fuck. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they. Those are the guys that ride around BMX bikes in 7-Eleven parking lots. There's dudes that just fuck, and every line cook that's fucked every hot girl you know. There's just dudes that fuck, right? And
Isn't that amazing? What is it about a line cook?
I'm saying it's not that. Those guys can be line cooks because they fuck. It's like rock stars are rock stars because those are the girls the guys want to fuck, right? That doesn't matter. Everybody's the same good at music.
but they only want to fuck them because they're rock stars, not because of
No,
anything else.
I think they become rock stars because those are the women that those are the guys people will buy tickets to go see because the women want to fuck them. Where my buddy
like
Jeff
they're
Libby,
one false move away from being a construction worker.
no. There's
garbage
no
man.
false moves. When you're one of those dudes, it's just like different spotted wings on a moth. You just fucking. It doesn't matter what you do. You can be in a rock band. You can fucking be homeless. It doesn't fucking matter. You're just gonna fuck. The other 85% of dudes, it's negotiating a woman. Like I know you don't want to fuck me right away. I'm not one of those moths, but like I can get you some shit, or I can dance around. I have a boat. It's that kind of shit. You know what I mean?
men.
So and what F-Boy Island proved, it doesn't even matter about hot. It's not about hot. It's not what you look like. You can't have enough abs to want to be one of those 15% of moths. That's just not possible, right? That's just not how it works. So because it's just a je ne sais quoi thing, right? Like there's all kinds of. I mean, and it's not even about fucking. Like I knew a dude that was a fuck boy that like literally fucked everybody I ever met, and he was terrible in bed. Everyone I ever met was like, oh, he sucks. He comes in like 4 minutes. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? It was crazy. So I just think there's a certain percentage of dudes. And so when women talk about I hate men, it's like, well, what kind? There's two kinds. They're both dicks, just in different ways, right? So like the guys you want to fuck are dicks because they have options all the time. If you can always fuck someone new, you're never going to fuck one person forever.
I mean, no,
that's
but
crazy.
that's not necessarily true either, because I feel like even when you do, like, I feel like even when like men go through like those stages or whatever, like there comes a time when there's no one else, there's no more people to fuck. Like everyone thinks you're gross. Like your time will come and go. It always does.
Yeah, eventually you run out of girls that.
Yeah, that will deem
Eventually you
fuckable.
meet these 40-year-old caramel women that
Yeah, maybe.
you know are willing to have a conversation instead
Yeah.
of
But
fucking you.
my point is that the other rest of but the guys that are negotiating, then we're dicks for different reasons, but it's because our feelings are hurt because you don't want to fuck us. Right? You'll have sex with us if
It's
we fucking
amazing
give
to
you
me,
shit, but you don't want to
men-
fuck us, and that hurts
Men
our
are
feelings.
so just fucking simple. Like that is just always the motive. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be anything. The motive is always, how am I gonna fuck this girl? It doesn't matter anything else. That's just always the motive for men.
Here's the sad part. Because women walk around with the idea that everybody wants to fuck them. That's true. Every man does want to fuck you. The end of that sentence is though, once.
Yeah,
then it's up to you. That's the problem. Like that's what, like men don't sometimes know whether they like you or not until they've had an orgasm. They're like, oh fuck, I hate her laugh. God damn it.
No,
I thought I was into her. Holy shit, she annoys the shit out of me.
I have like debunked that because I feel like I'm one of those people that like I will make a man, and I'm so serious, I will make a man take me out on fucking 10 dates before I even let him hold my hand because I will be damned if
Before I let him hold my hand. Don't even look at me.
But my point is, he doesn't really know if he likes you or not until he fucks you. Because no matter what you're doing,
like me.
Well, okay. I'm not saying you're not likable. You're pretty likable. My point is, there are people who are hot that are awful that you'll put up with whatever to have sex with them once, and then you're like, oh shit, they're terrible. Because the evolutionary blah 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 that's in dudes is just for the one time. It's about spreading to as many people as possible.
Do you think that's why a lot of guys do actually like crazy girls? Because I feel like a lot of guys are like, no, I genuinely like when they're crazy, and that's because in their brain that's what they've put up with because they've had to be able to fuck them. So then like they get this weird kink about crazy girls because like that's the one girl that they couldn't get and they were just putting up with her.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't really think so. I feel like men just are conditioned to like I literally feel like I always hear men say like, oh, all women are crazy. You just have to pick what kind of crazy you'll put up with. I've heard that so many fucking times come out of men's mouth.
Here's what it comes down to. My friend Tracy Jane's a comic in New York. One time she said to me, she goes, guys fuck crazy girls because they're good in bed. I said, no, Tracy, guys fuck crazy girls because they're available. You know where non-crazy girls are? At home with their husbands, not fucking everybody. They figured how to accept love and know what was good for them and not date a fuck boy or not date a fucking line cook, and they found someone they trust.
Yeah, but how did they find one of those guys if all guys are just going out like trying to fuck anybody?
No. 85% of us
are
trying to find a person to have regular sex with us in exchange
85%?
Yeah.
Are that on that side, and then 25% are just like whoever I can get.
That's 110%.
Oh wait.
Sweet.
That Liberty schooling.
You're like, this is why I went to cosmetology.
Can you hold
school.
my things?
You're like, I need to go get a cough drop. Doesn't come back.
I have to go get a math book real quick.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Hi, this is Sarah. This is Heidi. This is Sarah. This is Heidi.
What I'm saying is that the dudes that you don't initially want to fuck, there are guys that you eventually fall in love with that you'll have sex with, but that's not like when you see a dude, you know instantly, I want to fuck that guy or I don't, right?
Yeah.
And there's guys you'll learn to like to have sex with or want to have sex with, but that initial boom, 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 like I don't have that for whatever reason.
I don't feel like I really like, cause I'm like not, I just like, I would never got into like hookup culture. Like I've never really like hooked up.
You
with
may not fuck them.
That.
I'm just saying, and they could be your fucking best friend's boyfriend. I'm not saying that like
best friends.
No. I'm not saying you're gonna fuck him. What I'm saying is when you look at a guy, it's binary.
Yeah.
Right? I would fuck him or I wouldn't.
Right.
That's it. Whether you're trying to fuck anybody, right? There's the guys you wanted to fuck, and there's everybody else. Right? Okay. I'm one of the other people. I'm one of the 85%. No girl's ever walked in a room and went, I'm going to fuck that guy ever once in my whole life. Now,
you know of.
Trust me.
You're like, turn it off.
Because when a girl wants to fuck somebody, they tell them. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like when women say that men need to pick up on more signals, or how do you not know that a girl didn't. There are dudes out there that no girl's ever been into. He's never felt the signal that said yes, ever. So he doesn't know the difference. He's like, was that the signal? Was that the... If you've never gotten the signal, how would you know what the fuck it was? If no girl's ever been like, I want to fuck you specifically, right? Then how would you know what that felt like?
Wyatt, you're laughing a lot at this. I don't know if it's because you feel bad for Bowers or if you are relating heavily to this.
When he talks, I'm just in. I'm focused on what he's saying, every word.
Does this feel like in your life, Wyatt? Is this what I'm talking about?
No, I think you're right on a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah. So
Wyatt's like, no, but...
So my point is...
see where you're coming from.
And we're not... so the guys that initially you're not like, oh, who's that? Right?
Yeah.
Now they can win you over if they're nice to you, or if they're,
I feel like a guy could be like, let's say a guy's like a 6'7", like he's like a 6 or 7.
Like if 6'7" or a 6?
Oh, he has to be 6'7", but on a scale. Okay.
Obviously.
As we talked about earlier,
they have to be at least 6 foot.
Height is the big tits or big ass of.
It's the like fat juicy ass. The porn stash.
I don't know. Height doesn't bother me.
Height definitely bothers me. I am.
What
not
I'm saying
a
is
short
there aren't people that are not every guy's into big tits. What I'm saying is when a woman has big tits, we're like, fuck. That's how women are when they see a 6'5" dude.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It doesn't mean what you're into. It's just they're like, oh, those are nice.
But I was gonna say, a guy could be like on a scale from like 1 to 10, a 6 or a 7. If he has a really good personality or he can make me laugh, like I will consider him like an 8 or a 9.
Yeah, but that takes consideration.
That's
what he's
my
going
point.
back to,
He's
it's not. Yeah,
that's why 6 and 7s are funny, because we have to be.
You don't go into a room and say like, I wonder if he's funny, and go right up to him. It's like
Yeah.
it takes time. You have to get to know them. You have to,
feel
figure
like
out if their
usually-
parents are cool.
I
Like
feel like
there's like a
usually,
lot.
too, like when you're also funny yourself, like I'm the funny one. So if someone can be funny like with me or funnier than me, I'm like, okay, like that is like I don't want to be the one that's like cracking all the jokes or like
You don't want to be carrying the load.
yeah.
I mean, you do want to carry the load, but
I do. Like I want to be funnier, but I want you to be like right below
She
me.
didn't
You
get
know
your
what I
carry the load
mean?
joke, I don't think.
Things are just going.
You're carrying that load. All right. But the other
I was.
the rest of us, we have to like do a little dance to get women to like us, which is fine.
You guys have to do like a head spin on a cardboard
Something.
box.
I mean, whatever it is. I mean, there
Do
are
a flip.
There are people who literally do learn skills. I mean, because again, we're animals. It's all about
Yeah.
Our job is to have. I mean, I don't want to, but our job evolutionarily is to have kids, and you do that by fucking as many women as you can.
oh my God, you know what it is with line cooks? They know how to cook. That's what it is. They learned how to cook.
Okay, fair.
Like that's a skill. And you're like, damn. Because I thought about that. Like I dated a guy that was a good cook, and I was like, I just think that's hot. Like I don't think he's very hot, but like the fact that he can cook was sexy. And now, like,
okay, you're telling me the line cook at Applebee's is a cook? Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, he has to kind of be a cook. He's
you
making
know what?
up
I
the
will-
guy
throwing shit into the basket.
I will not
Yeah.
take the Applebee's slander up in here.
First
I'll
off,
tell you what, Applebee's has the best Fiesta chicken bowl I've ever had.
Well, it's the only Fiesta chicken bowl there is, because they made that shit up out of thin air. But okay.
And the black bean,
And by the way,
black bean burger
now-
quesadilla.
Now, by the way, I don't.
$5 marks.
By the way, I will say I am a huge chain restaurant fan. I do not. Applebee's is at the bottom of my chain restaurants, but it's still better than any mom and pop in the history of the fucking
And I
world.
think-
So I'm with you guys in the chain restaurant deal, right?
If anything, Applebee's cooks should have more of a because it always tastes the same no matter what. They're all the same.
consistent.
Yeah,
They're consistent.
And you know
Well-
what that shows? Consistency, which is another bonus. Can
Sure.
cook, consistent.
Hey, okay, look.
Always smells like chicken. I mean,
And literally, if they have to put up with servers, they're putting up with bitchy people all the time so they can handle a bitch.
yeah, they take hate.
Do you know
from-
how many times I went back to the kitchen in Outback and fucking ripped a new asshole to one of those line cooks, and they would still hug me at the end of the night? If someone yelled at me the way I yelled at some of those
Unconditional
people,
loving.
I would literally never come back again.
Jesus Christ.
we can hate on line cooks all we want here, but I mean, I think I'm proving a case here as to why
It's a strong
maybe
case behind these line cooks.
somebody may have
Yeah,
liked
well,
them.
So I'll tell you
And
this.
get you into the restaurant for free.
Yeah, someone's got to fuck them. I mean, come on. And sometimes it's the underage hosts. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm fucking kidding.
Wow. Okay, can we scoot closer?
Is that you?
this hap-
No.
so-
No, that actually was happening in
let's-
the Outback that I
let's-
worked at.
So this is a question. So this happened. We were talking about this the other day. So a buddy of mine was out with me and my friend Amelia, who's a comic, and he was like, "I want to get laid. Can you guys be my wingman?" Right? And Amelia said the most naive sentence I've ever heard. She looks at the crowd of women. She goes, well, "Which one of these women would you like to have sex with?" And I was like, "Do you think we get a pick who we get to have sex with?"
I mean, I
No,
guess
it's a
you could.
it's a sliding scale of who you think you can get with not pissing them off by going to someone better or whatever, right? It's this whole thing. Do you guys realize that's the dance, right?
Yeah.
Or no?
No.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think especially working downtown in a bar, and same when it happens in my DMs, when a guy comes up to me and he's like a solid 3 or 4, like I can appreciate that he has the balls to do it, but I'm almost offended when a guy that knows they have no chance hits on me. I'm like, ew, like fuck you for hitting on. Like, you think I'm gonna give you the time of day?
I mean, I understand that, but then, but what happens to that guy is then he sees the fucking awful pieces of shit you guys fuck, and he goes, well, I don't know how they did it. It's not like you guys are all dating these awesome fucking people we'd like. Whenever you see, we're like, oh, that guy? That's the guy? Fuck, man.
I feel like that's not always true. Like, I feel like
I
feel like
and it's not always true for
there's
everybody,
some, but
maybe for me, not so much for Heidi.
Not for you specifically. I'm saying in the world, right? Like do this and do that and do this, and that's what you're supposed to get a girl, and then you see it. But again, it's that 15% you just want to fuck. It doesn't matter what
like
they do.
you watch this show, you watch F-Boy Island, you're like, I mean, if that dude can do it,
Right, and he's being this complete asshole and being blah, blah, blah. Well, no, that's not how
all
it works.
about confidence.
No, it's 15% you want to fuck. The rest of us, it's about what can we juggle.
No, it's confidence.
Now, confidence is part of it.
Confidence for sure.
But confidence is what makes you want to fuck them. There's just well, no, I will say this. I would say being one of those people that everyone wants to fuck gives you a confidence that you can sense.
Yeah.
That's what I'll trade you with. He didn't come out of the womb. Like if I'm the most confident person you've ever met. Like when I say people don't like me, it's not me being insecure. I'm baffled by that. Okay. I don't understand why everyone doesn't think I'm fucking awesome. It's crazy to me. So I'm the most confident person ever. That's not what it's about. Trust me. Women do not want to fuck me. Ever. Now it's fine. I love being friends with them. I love being friends with everybody. It's great. I have a bunch of awesome female friends. That's why I'm not a dick, because I hear how dudes talk to you and how they treat you, and I'm like, God damn, fuck that, right? But it's not like none of these girls want to fuck me ever, which is again, I'm not mad about it, but like I'm very confident. I've been fat, I've been skinny, I've been rich, I've been poor, I've been fucking everything.
I thought of like ever just like walking into a bar and just being like, who wants to fuck me? Just seeing who raises their hand.
We'll try that tonight.
Okay.
I guarantee if we walk into every bar in this fucking town and I said, does anybody here want to fuck me? Not a single person's raising their goddamn hand.
You don't know that though. Have you tried
I'm trying
it?
to think of a guy like
Have you tried it?
Okay, so this is a fun story. When Chrissy and I started dating, I had this best friend named Katrina, and she was fucking hot and cool and fun, like one of the coolest people of all time. And Chrissy said, yeah, I'm not jealous at all. The only person I worry about is Katrina. And I said, oh, Chrissy, Katrina and I will never have sex, ever. And she's like, how can you guarantee that? I'm like, because I've tried.
I've tried.
She doesn't want the job, man. That's why it's That's why it's open. Like I wouldn't be dating you if Katrina wanted to fuck me. She's my best friend, and she's hot as shit. You don't think I didn't occur to me to try to have sex with her, right? She doesn't want to do that, which is fine. I love her anyway. But like I don't
think we should do the raise your hand if you want to fight, because I thought about this. I think it might be like shy confidence. It's shy. It's this like borderline between being really shy and really confident.
And I'm telling you, the confidence that comes from every girl wanting to fuck you, whether you're a line cook or a fucking juggler or whatever the fuck, gives you the confidence that you sense. I get what you're saying. And that's that je ne sais quoi thing. And I guess it could be which came first, the chicken or the egg or whatever. But I'm saying is that the guys who fuck, that know they can walk into a bar and see, it's like when girls or guys are awkward on Tinder. You want a guy who's awkward. You want a guy who's good at Tinder. That's really who you want to date.
Right.
I mean, no.
That anytime you get in a fucking fight, he's going to go, I'll be outside and pretend. You're like, no, wait. I mean, fucking, you want a guy who's a little awkward and bad at girls, because then he won't get a bunch of other ones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the guys that fuck real good, they're not faithful because they don't have to be, and they're just.
You want them like confident enough to like, to be fun and cool, but like just like a little bit nervous or shy enough that like they're not going to go out and fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
You want a guy that took him about 2 weeks to like make a move and come talk to you.
Yeah.
Because now
And,
the
like-
idea of approaching new pussy is so fucking foreign to him. Why would he do that? He doesn't need to. Or if he can go on Tinder in 4 minutes because he's good at it and he has a great game, if he's then he's.
You know what? Also, it's like something that I've noticed on like dates that I hate, that I shouldn't hate, is when they ask me a bunch of questions, because like that should be an awesome thing. That should be like so cool. Like, oh, they're trying to get to know me. They want to know a lot about me. And I can't stand it. I'm like, why? What do you want? Like, why are you asking me all these fucking questions? Like,
Okay, so why are you upset? Let's get to the bottom of that.
I'm not upset about it, but I'm just like,
I'm saying,
a little bit annoyed.
Are you taking it as an attack?
No,
Do you
I
think
just
they're
like,
judging you? Do you think they're
no, I'm just like, God, you're too interested. Like, you're too interested in getting to know me on the first date.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, have some like a little bit of
Well, part of it.
We're going to turn this into ASMR and we're all going to.
Right? I'm like, are you chewing gum? Part of this is you're afraid of forever on some level. Like, we want to date someone, but the idea of being married and the whole thing is also like, ugh.
I would just call that being emotionally unavailable. You're not ready to be dating someone if you're not willing to answer the questions that they're wanting to give you. It's as simple as that.
I mean, I think it's always been like that though.
Right, because you're not
But
ready.
yeah, on some level,
you don't
you
want
are-
that.
yeah, on
In
some
your
level,
real
you
heart
don't
of
want
hearts,
that,
you don't
yeah.
want that. So when someone's nice and you're like, oh,
Like, but you feel like on the first date when somebody's like, so what were your parents like? Or
can I be honest?
they're
I
asking-
think on the right. I think when if the conversation led into that and it was the right moment to, I wouldn't mind it. I'm not saying that every date is gonna like send you to that or like be open for that type of conversation. But like, I think if you really are interested and the other person's really interested and like you're both like in that same agreement, like questions like that aren't hard to come by.
What I would say is I've never been on a date that's ever ended in sex. I've hooked up at random people at parties and stuff and then ended up dating them for years or friends of friends or whatever. But like any girl I had to ask out on a date didn't like me like that. She just wanted to be my friend, which is fine. But then I'm asking her questions. And the reason you don't want to answer the questions is because you don't want to fuck him. And you're like, ugh, why do I have to answer all these questions? I'm not really into this guy. Where if you were a guy you wanted to fuck and he was like, so you'd be like, oh, you'd like that. But since you don't want to fuck him, you're like, all right, do more juggling, do something else because I'm not in. I don't.
So you have to fuck them first.
No, you don't have to. I'm just saying that what you don't want that to be the end of the like. You know, right at the beginning of the date, like, this is probably not going to go anywhere, right?
Not, and I don't know. I don't go on like a ton of first dates, but like probably it's happened like 3 times where they're like asking me a bunch of like.
Did you end up dating them?
For a little bit, but no, not. I mean, I definitely went on like a second date because I was like, I think
did you fuck either one of them? No, you didn't fuck any of these people. Yeah, so you didn't want to fuck them, so you didn't care what you were like, you don't get me to know me yet. I'm trying to decide whether you have what I, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I'm interviewing you, motherfucker. You're not interviewing me. Do some dancing.
It could be, that I just like to be in like control of the conversation. And when somebody tries to control the conversation or the narrative of it, I'm like.
But I'm saying if you liked him, you wouldn't have noticed that. If you wanted to fuck this guy, you'd have answered his questions and been flirty and fun, and you would have fucked. But since you didn't want to fuck him, then the questions became tedious.
Yeah, or is it because they asked me tedious questions that I like got turned off and didn't want to fuck them?
Good point.
Oh, okay.
Like, I was just, like,
so you sat down at the table and like, oh, this guy, I'm going to fuck the shit out of him. And then he asked you too many questions.
I don't think that I ever go into a date like, can't wait to just grind him.
I'm sorry, that's like never. I feel like girls are just so different on that. Like, I don't think, like, I mean, I'm saying there are girls out there, but like, girls don't ever go into dates just thinking like, oh, this is going to end me.
What I'm saying is when girls go out with the 15% guys, that's exactly how they are. And when they go out with everybody else, it's a fucking dance and it's a fucking negotiation. That's my point. So
but you don't go out on dates with the 15% guys.
You don't. You just fuck them, right?
Yeah.
So if because a 15% guy would never ask you out to dinner. He would never be like, hey, you want to go to Applebee's next week? I love Applebee's. No, that's a guy who's trying to fuck you and you don't really want to fuck you. Because if you wanted to fuck him, you'd already be fucking.
Or if you say no, he's just going to continue chasing you. So, I mean, he might.
Well, I mean, that's a whole other thing. That's where those guys are dicks in a whole different reason. I mean, like, that's where men have to go, just fucking leave her alone, man.
Yeah.
Like, you can shooting your shot's one thing, but we can't all shoot our shot at the same time. It's a fucking annoying. So fucking stop it and realize what the fuck you're doing. But now part of that's, part of that's because the problem is, I'm too high to fucking be on this podcast. How many people listen to this? Am I going to cancel? No, I think there's. I think there's women are very arrogant.
Ooh, okay.
In this way, when we're talking of the 85%, because of that negotiation, like I used to have a joke about the problem with women and men is that we don't understand each other. So like one of the things I've understood from women is that the thing that sucks about being a woman, one of them is that the guys you like rarely like you back. And the guys that have no chance, I think the guys you think are gross won't leave you alone.
I don't believe that.
Right?
I don't believe that.
The guys that are the guy you're talking about bothering you says no and you won't. Okay. Anyway, but this is real. The problem with being a dude is the girls you like rarely like you back, and the girls you think are gross also don't like you. They're like, ugh, get away from me. I can't make time. I mean, I swear to God, for the last 5 years of my life, I go into bars on purpose. I've had this theory for a while, and I will find the least attractive woman I can in the place, and I will go talk to her and try to hit on her. Mm-hmm. And not one time have they ever fucking liked me.
Well, maybe they didn't go out looking for somebody.
Yeah. I understand all of that. I'm just saying, if you were a single woman and Brad Pitt walked into the fucking bar and walked up to you, wouldn't be like, no, it's just a girls' night. It's just us. No, you'd be like, fuck, Brad Pitt's here. I'll see you later. I'm just trying to. There's a difference between those two kinds of dudes, and we have problems with both. And I think if we understood that difference, we could start to understand what's going on and why this is a problem. My friend Ashley Williams, one time I was making some point about either women are these delicate flowers we need to protect at all times, or they're equal. And Ashley said, no, there's some of both, and the difference is knowing the difference. And that's the key. So like there are women who can be taken advantage of by an older man or, gets in a situation where she should, and we do need to help people through that and not just but then there's women like Sarah and you that you're fucking equals fuck. You don't need protection from anybody. If you're like, no, I'm dating this dude and here's why, but man, you go, man. Fucking, he might end up crying in a bathtub for a couple of years, but you'll figure it out.
I would
right.
say
And so that's my point is like, there are two different kinds of people. So there's also two different kinds of men. There's men that women are just drawn to that are fucking whatever their quarterback, the foot, whatever they are. Right. And again, it's je ne sais quoi. There's guys that are music guys like that. There's just all kinds of, it's a thing that dude. And then there's other dudes that are chasing down something because they don't have that same. And once we understand that's what's happening, then we can understand why people react the way they do about stuff sometimes. This is my point, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I would say like, to go back to you saying like some women are arrogant. I think in that type of case, I would say like, I would probably be labeled as that in a way, and I think it's because like I'm not going to entertain a man. I'm not
Heidi,
like
I'm not talking about you.
No,
you're
no,
a beautiful woman.
I'm saying like
there are women.
know, but I'm
there
saying
are women
I'm
who
just
are
from that
and
point
again,
of view, from a different point of view.
And here's my thing. When I say this, I'm using societals, whatever.
Yeah.
I fucking find everybody beautiful. I don't give a shit. Right?
No,
like
I know. I'm just
if
saying
you're an
from a
asshole, I don't
different point of
but
view.
what I'm saying is there are very unattractive women by societal standards that are very, very arrogant. So what's happening is the dudes that are super ugly, the ones and twos and threes, get nobody. Because the women that are ones, twos, and threes think they get 5, 6s, and 7s. And they do because men are fucking trying to get everybody and women are trying to get a person. So we end up with this 15% of dudes on the other side who no woman's ever fucking looked at or talked to ever in their whole fucking life. And imagine what that would be like if no one ever looked at you or ever talked at you.
I think those are the men that just like don't put themselves out there either, though. They don't know themselves very well.
I go to high schools every day. There are just little weirdo creepy guys that are never going to get their shit together. They can't be in shape enough. They can't be fucking rich enough. It's just not going to happen to them. They're fucking, that's just what they are.
Sometimes I think they like you almost like prefer that especially if it's from like a young age, like if you prefer like being in your room like playing video games, like had no interest in women, like you like that just wasn't what you wanted, and that's fine. Like that's not what you went for in life. Like
okay,
you wanted to be like the IT guy that like went home
and I'm not saying there aren't certain guys like that. What I'm saying is there are guys that aren't that, who do want women. It's all they've cared about. Every media is about, look at this, all these women, blah, blah, blah. You don't get girls. All these guys are billions. They all got these women on their yacht. It's all about that. That's what, if you're just some kid and you're looking through Instagram and all that shit, that's all you see, right? It's the Paul brothers are with all these beautiful, that's all it is, right?
Yeah, they might be around beautiful women, but
my point is, if you're one of those kids and that's what you're looking at and you're a boy and you don't know how to do that and you don't have no one ever looked at you like that, it would make you very angry. And I'm saying that's how we need to figure that out.
I think Gen Z is different though. I really do. I think like Gen Z is very different in that way, and the fact that like they like people for a very different reason. It's not about like, and I'm millennial, so I'm just looking at this from a different perspective, but they do actually like people for a lot of different reasons. I'm noticing that because of TikTok, because I see some like little nerdy ass dudes on there that are just
you're not understanding what I'm saying. That 15% of dudes is it's just a essence. It's a different spot on your wings. You can be ugly, you can fat, you can be whatever. If you're part of that 15%, women are drawn to you. Those are the people that are blah, 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 blah. And everybody else is trying to trick one girl into liking them.
Wait, what was the guy? What was the guy that did like the eyes thing? Kevin. Will you look up Strange Kevin? So there's this guy on TikTok and he's not cute. But he ended up getting canceled because he had some stuff go on. But he was able to do this thing, and it was called the women's gaze. And it was basically just the way that he was able to look at women. It made a bunch of girls just like fall in love with him on TikTok. Not an attractive dude, but
and that's my point.
He would do this like look. He ended up getting canceled because he actually was doing a bunch of women's hate speech on a different account. But this went. I mean, he got like 3 million followers in like 5 days because it was just this phenomenon of that. That man was, women were literally swooning over him.
And that's my exact point. There are two different piles of men, and we have to differentiate who they are, right? And I'm just telling you, I've got a good personality. I'm a fun dude. I've met a lot of people. And I'm telling you, there's just something and we can understand like where we have right now. I keep joking, like I don't think we have a gun problem in this country. We have an unfuckable dude problem. That's our problem. There's dudes out there that nobody wants to fuck for whatever reason. I don't know if it's their fault, our fault, whatever.
Well, they're claiming that it's the way you look at women. It has nothing to do with your personality. It's called the women's. Well, you look.
You're saying so anybody can learn how to do this?
Apparently, but there was also a lot of guys, like even attractive guys, like pretty attractive guys trying to do a side by side of him, and they just weren't doing it. Like everyone was like, no, that's just not it. That you're not doing it. You're not doing it. Look, it's called the women's gaze.
And I'm telling you,
and they were basically just like
a fucking
you're
psychopath.
You're thinking about attractiveness in the wrong way, is what I'm saying. You keep saying attractive. What I'm telling you is, yeah, there are people who are physically pretty. That's different than what I'm talking about, which is that just the animal magnetism of someone you want to have sex with.
Yeah, but his was all in a look. One look.
I'm saying it's just because who he is. If you're saying you can teach that look to fucking guys who don't have the spots.
Because he could. He would go from like looking like really uncomfortable. He would do like this like weird like uncomfortable thing. And then he would switch. He would do this like one look.
Right. Could he teach it to someone else?
I think other people were trying to do it, but it wasn't working.
That's what I'm saying. So it's the look he's giving you now. And if it can't be replicated, then it's just something inside that person. It's a je ne sais quoi. That's what I keep saying. So that's what I'm saying. So, that's how we address
the worst part is that he's also
anger.
a really bad person. Like,
yeah, he sucks.
This computer's about to blow up.
I hope it does.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, you can't teach it. I mean, like you like the mystery guy back in the day when they did that shit. They tried to.
Why are cookies called cookies online? Oh, you use this for other people's podcasts. Yeah. I was like, what are you looking up? Why?
Because they leave crumbs.
I probably looked that up.
It leaves crumbs wherever you go. Right?
No, that was me for sure.
It's all me. I'm guilty of all
Why
of
are
it.
cookies called cookies?
That's the stuff I think about.
What was the answer? What was the actual answer?
I can't remember. I look up so many things.
Was it because they leave crumbs everywhere you go?
That sounds right.
What does that have to do with?
Because that's what a cookie is. A cookie leaves a crumb of everywhere you went, so they can trace your internet
information.
History. I thought it was because you cooked them.
You cooked your online search.
What?
Wait, I think it's...
You thought they were called cookies because you...
Yeah, they're better raw. So they had to like say, make sure you cook these cookies instead of eating the raw dough. That's how they got people to quit eating raw cookie dough.
Oh, no, we're talking about the computer cookies. Oh. You're talking about cookies?
I thought you were talking about actual like chocolate chip cookies.
No.
No, we meant computer cookies. Like they say, do you agree to the cookies on your phone when you're going...
Oh, yeah. I don't know what those are either, but I just always agree to them. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Stop.
It's 110%, so it works out.
That person's not doing it.
I was going to say, I don't like you're just like, go back to the search. It's just looking up a theory, not necessarily like a picture.
I'm just telling you, there's just a thing. And maybe it is the male gaze. I don't know. Maybe that's something I'm not doing.
It's the female gaze. Unless, I mean, if you want to use it on men, I'm sure it works there too. But yeah.
The female gaze is why you're ugly. That's exactly my point. It's something dumb like spots on a but maybe it is. Maybe this female gaze is exactly what it is. Some dudes look at women in that way and some dudes don't. And the question is, can you learn how to do it?
Oh, this is some film bullshit.
Some film bullshit. Also, there's a theory behind this female gaze as well that it's the type of eyes that you have. So if the white of your eyes is able to be seen underneath, you're more likely to be trusted and for people to like you. And it's called like
Sampaku
eyes.
It's like an old like Japanese.
Oh shit!
And
that
so
can make sense. Can you see my whites?
They're also
No.
they're
Not
also,
at all, probably, right? My eyelids go like above my pupils, I think.
Billie
Shit.
Eilish has them as well.
They're also people
like,
saw it
tend
to
to
like they think that they die way younger. They're like supposed to be like products of people who like die younger or like die from like very tragic deaths.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? The bluer your eyes are, the worse they are to see out of.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible.
I know.
Like the prettier your eyes are, the less they work.
Eyes you have, the worse they are, which
Yeah.
sucks so bad.
But it's also true. The more beautiful you are, the more you suck. Generally, right? Just in general, isn't that the thing? We all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
like Frank Crosley has the most beautiful blue eyes,
she can't see
and she
shit.
can't nothing.
It's the worst. It's
She
the
walks
saddest
around with
thing
your
ever.
eyes closed because it's easier than trying to figure out without her contacts in, just to have her eyes closed.
Jeez.
I like come down to the kitchen and she's just like,
Saddest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's terrible.
"Do you? Oh yeah, you wear glasses. I have 20/20 vision, so I've never experienced what it's like to not be able to see something.
Well, my vision's not bad. I'm like a very small, like whatever the long distance thing is. Like I couldn't read those numbers across the street if I didn't have my glasses on. But then when I turned 40, my reading vision went away, and that sucked for like 2 years. I felt like an old man until I finally broke down and got bifocals. These are those progressive lenses.
Oh,
so
yeah.
now I see, and then it's perfect. It's like awesome. Best thing I ever did in my whole goddamn life. Waited 2 years. I couldn't see. It felt like an old man every time I had to take my flashlight out to read a menu.
Yeah, you have to do this thing.
Almost killed myself.
Yeah, that's the fucking worst.
I
I felt like I was in one of those
understood.
progressive commercials about being your parents. So fucking,
Yeah, definitely.
what's the percentage of tip? I can't see the. Oh fuck.
Or when they ask you what it is, I used to fucking hate when people would ask me what the tip is. I'm like, it's $150. Put it down.
It's $300.
$3,000. Give me your fucking social security check and get out of here. Scram.
When I worked at Houlihan's, I had these two old ladies who would come in every Friday, and they would both get a soup and half sandwich and a coffee.
Of course,
It
they
was like
fucking would.
$7.50 each.
Those fucking banshees.
And those motherfuckers got separate checks every fucking time. I'm like, what are you afraid you're going to die and owe the other one a sandwich? Just
Yeah,
fucking
like-
go 1 week you buy, 1 week you buy. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're going to die owed them $7.50? Jesus
It's so
Christ.
dumb. I used
It
to
was the
hate
dumbest
that
shit of all time.
So funny.
God.
What are you doing? It
Wait,
was
speaking of that, I watched a TikTok last night and I tried to do edit and it wouldn't let me do edit. But this guy, like, it's like one of those like controversial things that people fucking argue back and forth about. But he was going on about how people should be able to go out and have a nice dinner with their family and not have to tip a server, no matter if the like service was good or not. And he was like, you're the one that chose to have that job. You're the one that's deciding that you're going to work in an industry where like your salary is based on tips. Da, da, da. And it really pissed me off because I'm like, that would be the same person that's talking about how the guy on the side of the road begging for money needs to go get a job. Like, at least we as servers have fucking jobs.
Right.
Like, I don't know. That's like one of those ones that also pisses me off. Like,
But it's also like a small town, a small person trying to fix big issues in society. Like,
yeah, and then he was like, it's not the customer's issue, it's the employer's issue for not paying you. And I'm like, okay, I get that, but that's just not how it is. That's just not how it fucking
right.
is.
And like we're not going to change that with your TikTok. Dude.
Yeah, and like also, I just think it's like, well, it's shitty too because I obviously I work in the service industry. I'm not saying tip me fucking $500. Like, just tip on your bill. You know what I mean? Like, just tip whatever.
And it's just we've created that norm as a society. I'm sorry, it's just how it is. Like, in your little like redneck hillbilly ass TikTok is not what's going to change that. Like,
yeah.
yeah. Well, I tell you one thing.
Your steak is $9.99 because you have to tip your server. So if you want to start paying $16.99 for a steak instead at Applebee's, well, fine, then you can do that, or you can tip your server. Like, either way, the pricing is going to go up in some way.
Yeah.
Like, we only can charge you that price for the steak because we only pay the servers $2.99. It's just
that's how it
that's
works.
how society works. So like, shut the fuck up, man. Like,
I just hate that. I hate
that
that argument.
What the pandemic taught me was a lot of gratitude in that, like, since people didn't all come back to work, and then like it was like there's just been shortage. Like, anytime that anybody shows up to work now, I'm happy they're there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not in any way, like, if you're here at Burger King and I get to have a croissant sandwich because you're here, fucking thank you. You know, because you woke up
really.
your happy ass, you fucking came all the way over to Burger King, you turn on the lights. You didn't have to do that. Right, the government showed you that they're not going to let you die.
Like, people
Right.
who like
Right.
work those jobs,
But-
I have a lot of respect for.
Yeah.
Those
So,
jobs suck.
so my server, anybody, I'm like, hey, thank you for being here, because without
Yeah.
you, this bar couldn't be open. You know, because that's what happened in the pandemic. All my favorite shit shut down.
yeah.
And you couldn't go anywhere,
Right.
Because and then I was like, oh fuck, and these people came in with masks on so I could fucking go to a bar. I was
Right.
like, oh, thank you so much, guys. And I never really, I was a server myself, and so I've always been pretty good to servers. But I'm talking about the people that work at the bookstore or anywhere, like
Right.
go to a bookstore. What the fuck am I saying? But like,
Like librarians or whatever.
No, I'm saying to anybody that goes in, like, if I go to Macy's, or I was trying to buy somebody a Yankee Candle,
Yeah.
and like I went, and like at 9 a.m. this chick's at the mall at the Yankee Candle. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, thank you so much for waking up so I could buy this candle right now.
Or airport servers.
Yeah.
Can you imagine every day they drive all the way to that fucking airport, park their car, go through security just for some dude to get on TikTok and be like, I don't think I should have to tip servers while he's
like,
walking
it's
in
so
through
fucked
fucking
up.
airport security, risking his life to go to Dave and Buster's in the fucking airport.
Well, I was on
Yeah.
a plane with a guy. I was on a plane with a guy a couple months ago. We were talking about that because he goes, it never made sense to me. He goes, the people that work at McDonald's at the airport, like, why wouldn't you work at McDonald's by your house?
Right.
Why
it doesn't
would you
make
go to
any
the airport? Do you make that much more money?
They
I don't
can't.
think
There's
you
no
do.
way they
to go
can't.
through
Especially-
security, to work at McDonald's?
Maybe-
why would you do that?
And I think like maybe with McDonald's, maybe you get paid a couple extra bucks more, but like a server,
I feel like you
like a
also-
server at Harry and Izzy's at the Indianapolis airport. No way, you make more money there than you do
Yeah,
at the
there's-
Harry and
yeah,
Izzy's
there's
on the
no
north side.
way.
Like what happened? Did you
There's
get in
no
trouble?
way.
Is this like a trial period? Like
That's where you go when you're on probation.
yeah, like did you
Yeah.
serve somebody like an undercooked steak and like
Yeah.
you have to go to the
That's like the
to
island of
Indianapolis
unwanted-
airport for 6
Yeah,
months to
it's
get your
the-
job back? Like
It's the island of unwanted toys.
what is
They get
this?
shipped off. It is fucking weird.
Oh, yeah, I just have never. And he said that I was like, I never thought about that. But yeah, why would you work at the Brookstone at the mall? They pay me $100,000 a year.
Could you not learn the menu well enough? Like they gave you a smaller menu to start. They're like, oh, you are not ready for the full menu. You have to go to the airport menu for a little bit
It's like the open mic
of serving.
of serving. They call themselves servers, and all the servers at the Real Harry just roll their eyes at them. You've been on stage twice at the airport.
Especially because it's normally like a flex or a brag to say you've been somewhere for 10 years. But if you're like, I've been at the airport McDonald's for 10 years, they're like, damn, never got out of there.
I wonder if like
You
how
never
like,
upgraded to like Shadeland Avenue.
That can't. Okay, we're in the Matrix. There's no way people work at the airport, right? That doesn't make any sense.
Why would,
Why would
where do
anyone
they
that?
park?
How could they possibly?
Have
make
you
enough
ever
money?
met anyone that works at the airport?
Actually, Ernest Hicks worked at TSA.
No, I'm talking a restaurant in the airport.
No, I've never.
And I worked at Harry and Izzy's. And I never heard them once bring up airport Harry and Izzy's. Not during training,
Totally different.
we had company parties. I worked for Hughes Culinary. I never ever saw anyone from the airport at a company party.
So maybe it doesn't
there-
work.
yes,
Maybe there is no. It's all the Matrix.
There's no airport restaurant.
You know, it always freaks me out. Where does the garbage go? Think about how much garbage goes out of. When I lived in California, my apartment complex, they would, I swear to God, roll 12 dumpsters of garbage out of our apartment complex every fucking day. And there's like 50 of those, and plus there's a mall. Like, where does the garbage go? It can't possibly be. Where's it go? People are like, landfills. I'm like, there's one in Kokomo. I've never seen a landfill. I've seen garbage every day. Where's the
They
garbage?
burn it, right?
No, they're not allowed to burn it.
You burn trash.
You hillbilly.
You put it in the fire out in the fire pit behind your yard. Sometimes you lose one kitten and it's
Some of it's burned, but not a lot. Majority's buried. You think we have enough space?
some is burned.
Some, but not much.
The majority of it is buried.
Yeah, so what the fuck? Think about how much garbage goes out of every city every day in America. Do you think that we have...
Who's out there burying it?
That's my point. I don't think we're real. This is the Matrix, dude. There's no way. There's no way the garbage goes away.
Well, Logan worked for a trash company. Where he took it somewhere, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying there isn't a fucking... They aren't doing enough to make us think the garbage is going away. I'm just saying there's not any possible way that Logan in his truck can get rid of all the garbage in Los Angeles. That's bananas. We live in the Matrix. That's all I'm saying.
And how does it stay at ground level? Like, wouldn't it stack
Right?
up?
I mean, it doesn't make any fucking sense.
How does it not get tall enough? Yeah.
I think we're thrown in the ocean. I mean, there probably are explanations, but my point is I think we're in the Matrix and this is all kind of bullshit. That's my point.
Yeah, like what is under? It's just trash underground.
But no, there's not.
Oh, I've always had this theory too. Do you think Earth smells really bad? Like, say somebody comes here not from Earth, and they're just like, "Oh my God, you guys are all fucking rotting in here. It smells terrible."
I don't know.
Because I mean, essentially, we are. We're all rotting, and we're all just living on piles of trash. Clearly,
Yeah, I just don't know where it all goes, man.
like we have to smell bad to another. If there's extraterrestrial extraterrestrial life, I feel like they think we smell bad.
So this is how this normally goes. How are we doing? Is this doing all right?
How long have we been going?
Can't tell if
I think we should be wrapping up.
if
Yeah,
Heidi's
about
lost
5 minutes.
her.
It's been about an hour.
Yeah.
I just know if there was a structure or
there's
is there like a game or something you ever do at the end or
No, normally we like ask a question online, but then you and I talked about it and then we never got to that question, which whenever we have a guest, we never get to the question. So that's pretty typical as well. No, this is pretty much how it went.
7 was the answer. 7. Was the
7. No, the question was supposed to be what was it? Craziest New Year's Eve story?
Oh, I thought you said something about a song.
Oh,
turn off immediately or whatever.
Christmas songs that you hate, which we could have done that too. But Heidi and I will just save our question for next week when it's just her and I. So
What was the question?
About a song you'd turn off immediately or whatever.
Did you post it?
no, that's what I put. No, I didn't post it because Bowers and I talked about it earlier, and I was like, I just won't even post it because he wanted to talk about craziest New Year's Eve story. But again, whenever we have a guest, it's just like we start talking and we don't ever get to the question.
Well, okay. Well, I had fun.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
Well, we're gonna. This will come out later, but we're gonna have our show tomorrow at Helium, and next week Heidi and I'll talk about.
Unpack that.
Well, and I want to say, just on your podcast, I love both of you guys. I'm glad you're doing this. I mean, they came out to my birthday last year, and just the two of them together was just the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, I really think of Heidi kind of like Roseanne, like just such a unique voice, like not now Roseanne, but like back in the day, when she was a unique voice that no one had heard before. Because like the way she describes stuff and just your general demeanor, I just love how you talk, and it's just so interesting how you break people down, and it's so like cutting, but at the same time real, and it doesn't hurt your feelings really because you're like hitting it so hard on the head. You're like, oh, that is me somehow.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I did that in the Vegas. We went to the what's the Absinthe show, and the MC guy was hilarious, and I had like this exact outfit on, I think, and he goes, "Look at this motherfucker! How you gonna put a $400 jacket on some $39 Goodfella jeans from Target?" And I was like, oh, fuck. You got me. These are $39 Goodfellas.
I did that.
So yeah, that's you have that kind of thing where you can look in someone's soul and just fucking, and it doesn't hurt because it's real.
Yeah. And so, I don't feel like I'm ever even trying to be mean. I'm
because you're
like,
not, and that's what. But you
You're
can
just
sense
like,
it.
I love buying my clothes at Costco as well. Like it's that kind of stuff. Like,
well, but even like when you're just because you're not ever. I'm not mean like one-on-one. I mean like when you're describing when you guys were doing the thing about the lady with COPD at the Walgreens, right? It's not a real lady,
right?
Right. But even a woman who works at Walgreens is not going to be mad at you.
Right?
She's gonna be like, oh my god, I do that, or oh, I'm always trying to push the coupons. And she won't hear the bad things because she doesn't think that about her. Yeah. Right. But the real stuff that she likes, she'll be like, oh, or she might go, I do drink too much pop or whatever. You know what I mean?
always find it really interesting that when people like approach me and they're like talking about the podcast, they'll be like, it's actually really good. Like you guys actually talk about like, you guys have like good conversation. I'm like, that is such a backhanded compliment. Like you thought it was going to be bad. Like,
no, I mean, again, don't take things that way. I think
it's just funny though. Cause it's like their expectation. You can tell it like wasn't like it was very high. Does that make sense? Like I can tell when people say it, it's not like in a bad way, but like they're like always pleasantly surprised. Like,
well, no, because honestly, I would say there's a compliment in this way. You guys have a chemistry that doesn't really come out till you see it.
Yeah.
And it's so jarringly good.
Yeah.
That it is surprisingly in a great way.
That
And I mean, she told me about you for months. Like, oh, you're gonna meet Heidi. She's great. And I met you a couple times, right? But then when you guys got together and I saw you do your thing, I was like, oh fuck, okay, I get it now. And so it's so that's what it is. There's just a thing you got a click that happens when the two of you are just talking to each other. And it's because like I wasn't part of the improv you guys were doing. It had nothing to do with me. We were just watching. Like that was the cool part. It was a show you guys were doing for us, as opposed to we're all riffing it up and we're doing a fun thing, right? So like even this podcast is. I mean, like this was me telling we had some things, and we argued, but it wasn't the same as when you two are you know what I mean? And because that's a thing. So I'm saying and you know, Sarah, I think you're very, very funny, and I keep telling people you're gonna have a Netflix special in 3 years. So I'm calling my shot, guys. That's what I'm saying. I love you. And I love that you started comedy without me. Like I didn't I mean, I didn't even know you were doing it. And she called me and was like, oh, I started comedy. I'm like, what? Like where everybody else is like, give me done. I would give them jokes, whatever. And that's not Sarah. She did it all on her own. It was just so cool. And I just fucking love both you guys. So I love you guys doing this. And thanks for having me come on in here. And
thanks for coming.
I got pretty high through most of that. There was a moment where I'm like, what am I talking about? Oh shit, am I in trouble? So we'll see. We'll
listen to it.
I'm very interested to listen back to this conversation too.
If we have to cut anything,
I don't think I do anything in trouble, but
I don't think there's anything that needs to be like cut or anything.
Yeah, we'll be cool. But anyway, so it was there super fun. I had a good time, and let's go have some beer somewhere.
Whoop whoop. All right. Oh yeah, we have to figure out what we're gonna eat. Okay, bye.